Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Strider, and I know it's been 2 weeks since my last video uploads, and I do apologize. I say this in the beginning of almost all my videos now. It's kind of sad, but it sucks because I do see that a lot of you guys are commenting. You're like, hey, is Strider dead? Did he ditch us, or is he done with YouTube? And it sucks because I'm checking these emails that I get at work, looking at your comments or while I'm doing schoolwork, and it's like killing me. I haven't had a lot of time to even play games at all, so it's not that I'm not recording, it's just that I'm literally not playing at all, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of NS2 matches happening right now. And in fact, today's video is going to be a live stream, a dual cast I did with a buddy of mine named Chewy. He cast a lot on his Twitch channel. I'll put a link in the description. But he invited me randomly the other day. He said, hey, you want to hop into a dual cast with me? So I decided to do it. Now this is a public match, not like an official, but it was like practice for the tournament that's coming up, or I think it's already started, but it's between Robot and ADM. I'm not sure who the clans are. I just kind of hopped in, and you'll notice I don't talk a lot. One reason being is because I'm not very good at live streaming, so we actually had like a live audience watching. I get a little nervous when it comes to live audiences, so I don't talk a whole lot, and also because it's Chewy's channel or live stream that I was on, I don't want to talk a ton and kind of take over that conversation. I'm going to let him be, the focus. Plus, he's very good at what he does, especially when it comes to natural selection too. And that being said, I'm going to get this video started. You can skip ahead to the actual start of the game if you don't want to hear the intro. We kind of talk about the map and NS2 in general for a good minute or two before the match starts. But if you want to listen to that, go ahead, and I will talk to you guys later.
We're just going to go ahead and adjust the score. Waiting for one more robot player to join up. There we go, Deathcore is back in. His ping, however, doesn't seem to be, but that's fine. I think we can move past that. I think he'll be alright going forward in this. Interesting map, Vale. What are your thoughts on Vale? Chat has heard my thoughts on Vale about 1,000 times now. Let's see what your thoughts are. Pick your
Oh boy, that's a loaded question. Vale, personally speaking, I've always enjoyed Vale. I do enjoy the fact that there is a central station of 2 res nodes where basically you have that being the core of the map, where if somebody takes that over and it can hold it pretty well, you're not so concerned about some other parts of the map. Like if you lose the right or left side, at least you have 2 in the center. That can be a game changer for sure. I've seen teams where I've been a part of a team, Aliens for instance, where all that was left was nano, and we built a tunnel to there, and we were holding it off until one of our gorges were able to drop a tunnel, I think in Topo, and from the side, the drop down platforms around Topo, and we rushed their base, and it makes a big difference if you can hold those off. But there are certain quirks to the map for sure. If you look at it from a map standpoint, it doesn't look very even, especially to me at least. What I see is the Marines have a little bit more of a struggle, quite a bit of a ways to go to certain extractor points, Topo for sure, but I'm not sure. What have your thoughts been? I know the chat's probably already heard of it, but just as a quick, so at least I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, so we've got Nanogrid. As you say, it's a vital part of this map. I don't see it as vital and essential, especially for the alien team, because the aliens are going to be a little bit, especially on public servers, are going to be a little bit more concerned with keeping those tech points up. Marines are always going to have openings that the aliens can do very little to counter to take Nanogrid. You've got East Junction arcs, you can drop some armory walls in the doorways. You've just got your shotgun rushes. You've got your initial pushes with sentries at the beginning of the game to take Nano. So as an alien team, Nanogrid, although it is nice, although it keeps your res flow at a very healthy flow during that game. In public games, at least, it's more important to take those tech points, in my humble opinion. In these kinds of matches, it's going to be very difficult to hold down all 3 tech points as aliens. The emphasis being a little bit more to try and get Nano to keep up some sort of advantage. I don't know, the Marines on this map, I really do feel that you have one very clear-cut strategy that you can follow. It is pretty much just take a tech point, arc out Nano, jetpack rush cargo. It follows that same pattern almost every game. A couple of people try and shake things up a little bit by trying the sentry rush strategy and other variations of Nano rushing, but especially with the new counters people have come up with, it's very, very tough to make work. So very cookie cutter map, I feel, in terms of strategies that play out.
Yeah, and the major issue with cargo is when Marines go in there with jetpacks, it's such a big warehouse to fly around in. It's almost impossible unless you have a fade that's pretty accurate, or a lurk that knows what he's doing, to kind of counter that. Plenty of times I've seen, especially on public servers like you're saying, right? There's obviously a little bit of an imbalance of skill level, and a Marine will go in there with a jetpack and a shoddy and just dominate for a good couple of minutes. And obviously that goes to show that can have a lot of play, whereas the Marines, you have a little tiny hub point to where it's flat level. There's one little stairwell to it.
Alright, looks like we're going to be getting underway soon. Nice that we're both going through the competitive plays and the public plays that go on in this map. It kind of brings the two scenes together a little bit in a way that they've tried to do via implementing combat. I don't know. We'll reserve our thoughts on that implementation of comp mod to vanilla. We're going to go ahead now and start off with the third game between Robot and Austrian Death Machine. This will be on Vale. The aliens will take the pipeline starts. Marines, of course, starting up there in control, building an armory as their first structure. Look at that, we've only got one Marine with a welder so far. Interesting development there as X stays in base. I'm not really sure what he's going to try and do, but with 3 Marines rushing out to Scarlight's side, it's going to be tough for Crowbar and Go Nano, who should live up to his name in this game, to really to crush these 3 Marines, to really take them down. What's going on? What are they doing in main base? Oh, they're waiting for mines. I see how it is. X waiting for mines. And,
there we go.
Yeah, putting them down. Amy's now in topographical. We've got Furs making his way all the way back through. Marine starts trying to help out Amy, who's sitting in topo. Is probably going to get killed by parasites here. He's already lost 30% of his health.
Yeah, if Banana were to hop out there, I'm sure he could take him out.
Yeah, we've got a couple of... Oh, we've got a pause here as system waypointing is gorged off. We already have a gorge tunnel that I didn't even see up until this point here, dropped in system waypointing. An interesting place for a gorge tunnel. I really didn't see this coming. And having this gorge wall here...
Is that on top of the platform or in the vent? I can't tell.
No. Let's take a look at. Yeah, it's on top of the platform. It's just got this really lovely looking overlay on top of the 3D map. That looks awesome. I'm not sure what's going on with Austrian Death Machine here. They don't have their player back yet. We're going to have to re-pause the game. Will Beagle get out in time is the question everyone wants to know. What are the Skulks going to do to support? They're still on 5 players total. We have one of the Skulks coming from C12, I believe, to help out Beagle as he runs off to Nanogrid. The Gorge Tunnel almost taken down by Cairo. Look at that, 8%! Oh man. 8% on the Gorge Tunnel system waypoint. Will the Gorge go down here, or will the... Oh, the Gorge will go down. The Skulks were not quick enough there, being taken out by their own team. Crowbar killing Nano. As the Marines also take.
Interesting. I saw, if you may have noticed, 7 ran past the Marine to get to the Gorge Tunnel. Wasn't helping out Beagle. Obviously, the Gorge Tunnel a little bit more important to them.
But now they have to sort of get a crag over there somehow. Looks like that Gorge Tunnel is compromised anyway because the Gorge went down. He can't heal it. He can't clog the wall. I'd have said that the gorge itself was a little bit more valuable, because right now X flanking from Y junction is just going to pop a couple of shots into that gorge channel, and yeah, down it goes.
Yep.
Really disappointed at the lack of nutrient mist that we saw, and that's even a 10 res a loss right there, or sorry, a 13 res loss. The comp mod changed the way that units are costed, but that's also the crag that will no longer be completed and will go down. So the aliens fought a little bit too hard to keep their gorge channel alive, and as such lost a lot of resources in that initial battle.
Yep.
Oh, especially here with the double drifter opening. Look at that double drifter opening. Even on public servers, I feel that double drifter openings are very economically inefficient. Grab more RTs. Not doing that. They've even dropped a whip in there. I don't know. Slower res income. It doesn't really matter as much now in the current builds in 6v6 in the smaller games, because the alien commander has so little to do with his resources in comparison to those old builds, and in comparison to what they would really need to accomplish in public games, that they can afford to do stuff like this. They can afford to spend more res, spend more time fortifying an area, going with double drifter. But yeah, it looks like this whip, hopefully for the alien commander, will start to tear away at these Marines. The med packs are coming in. Seven timed it reasonably well there, waiting for the Marines to almost run out of assault rifle, then switching to pistol to take him down, which will allow the final two Skogs to come in here with the third in support to deal with those two Marines. Will Cora be taken down here, or will she survive against the Skull Commands? Nope, the med packs were not strong enough. She wasn't able to reload. 4 RTs for the aliens now as they lose C12 to Furs. They try and subvert Furs, going topographical with a single Skulk, and to sub-sector with Beagle fighting down the RT.
Yeah, it looks like Nano is going to be able to take out Toppo, possibly, if he sticks with it.
Furs has been parasited now. It looks like Koro will be coming around the corner. Interesting there, mines. I just saw it in the vent there. We said that mines useful defending your RTs. Koro on such low health there. Would she have been able to survive the second Skulk that would have come through that vent if that mine was not in the area to defend her?
Yeah, that's where certain things like that, you saved the res tower with that mine and you saved Koro. So well played on that part. Just little things like that, you may not think it'll make a much of a difference, but in the long run it can.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Bortum in chat. I mean, we briefly touched on this, but we've got to really, we've got to retouch on this, because look at this. The aliens are still on 5 players. Extremely tough for them now to come back from this. They must have counted out their 6th player coming back, because they are not pausing the game again. They have access to do so. They have ways of pausing the game once more. But without that,
yeah, it looks like X and Deathcore are taking out Nano at the moment. The whip's too far spread apart for that to really make a difference.
Yeah, with armor level 1 and with weapons level 1, really meaning they can have a little bit more sustainability against Nanogrid and its spiky PvE structures there. And they will just come through and clear it up completely unmolested, axing down a crag, while the aliens struggle to find the players to go and help them out.
Yeah, the aliens look like they're spreading a little bit too far, but 7 coming through the vent now is alert.
He was just in.
Trying to keep pressure off of Nano.
Yeah, he was just in. He was forced to back out there. He took a lot of damage. Buzz and Neck going to the alien base already. We've got one guy connecting to the game. It looks like the, yeah, we've got one Skulk back. He's back in the mix. Lost out on a lot of P-Res, a lot of time, lost Nanogrid. Will they choose to restart this game, or will they cut their losses and move on to the 4th and final game? You've also got to keep in mind they did lose to that base rush earlier, and that was restarted with the scores wiped, so I don't know, they may choose to restart if it really comes to it. But both teams are playing on like nothing really happened. Marines have taken over Nano. Interesting, let's have a look at the map right now. We've got one Skulk in main base working on the arms lab to no avail. We've lost Toppo, Sky, Overlook, Sub, C12, and have not yet built Nano. These Marines have only got cargo and their main base resource tower to their name.
That's not looking good, and I think that's why the aliens are continuing on. They realize, hey, Marines are doing quite a bit of damage to us, but their res obviously about even. If you look at the top of the screen there.
Yeah, it looks like the Marines will need to stop researching tech to go on a little bit of a recovery soon, because they have got weapons level 2 completing, but no res to speak of right now. They've got subsector waiting. Cargo is about to go down. Like Amy trying to support.
Here comes Amy.
Yeah. He's gonna. Will he go down? Will he take the Skulk with him? Crowbar using the height to his advantage. Oh wow! Very awesome engagement there to watch. Awesome spectator support there to watch Amy take out that Skulk.
Then we got Beagle back up in Nano. Surprising they dropped the tunnel now, realizing how vital that was to get from Pipe to Nano. Now instead of using drifters, obviously no res there, so Beagle's gonna have to be doing most of the work.
Yeah, with losing out on a lot of P-res being AFK, trying to reconnect to the server, it has meant that he's gonna struggle to maybe go Fade or Onus, whatever he was gonna do. So he's just elected to go Gorge. And
trying to see if 7 can save Topo, or sorry, C12.
Oh, he's so low! Oh, he gets away. He gets away. Will he come back in? No, he'll go out. He'll choose to go back to the hive and heal up. Deathcore and maybe the Merc there. System waypointing. We'll go after the new Gorge tunnel here in Nanogrid. One of them has no armor, however. Amy not carrying a welder, and neither is Deathcore, so they will be a little bit weakened going into the initial engagement. But the commander needs to keep up with those med packs. Beagle goes down already, losing his Gorge.
That's the second time now that I feel like the Gorge has really been unprotected. Died twice. Furs went over to C12, took out that harvester that was being built. So now the tunnel kind of left abandoned. Let's see if they can head over there in time. Doesn't look like it.
I mean, they're spending a lot of resources as an alien team keeping the RTs in Nano alive. They've spent it on 2 whips, 2 crags, they've dropped way more stuff. And it really has come back to haunt them. They're not able to get anything really. You know, they can't really grab their second hive. They're not spending it on biomass. They've got their 3 spurs, I guess. So there is that. But they're not making any progress.
Wow, Deathcore and Fur is able to hold out in Nano.
Yeah, look at those med
That's
packs.
Not looking good.
Lug comes out of there extremely low. But look at that. 7 cleaning up those 2 Marines beautifully as that Lug. That felt smooth. That felt fluid. I play Lurk quite often in my games, and just have that smooth, fluid feeling of controlling a Lurk. I could feel that through the game, and that's what watching NS2 is all about. I love that kind of feeling that you get. But yeah, as Drogot points out in chat, the upgrade advantage, he feels it's too big, and I'm kind of having to agree right here. We've got biomass level 1. 3 spurs, that is the saving grace, I guess, but with the loss of P-res the aliens have undergone, with the Marines currently being on what highest is 41 P-res, with a pack of mines to his name, so they obviously went further than that. I don't know.
And already another drifter back in Nano, so they're really trying to get that back up. Go Nano though, going Fade, kind of playing guard now. It looks like he abandoned it for Deathcore to just kind of wander in, see what's going on.
Topo being taken down by a Lurk and Skulk team. We have a phase gate here in system waypointing with Marines already pushing Nanogrid, kind of backed up against the wall. Whips fucking useless as ever. Really only getting 1 hit, it looked like, throughout all of that. I thought they patched Whips, but never mind. Maybe they didn't just do enough of a good job. 7, look how low he was there. He's up to 5% after the first tick of Crag, and he is not too. Yep. He's happy about it, I guess, but he's not in a very good position there, as he's able to make his way out. 3 Marines now pushing Nano. It's not something the Lurks and the rest of the alien team ever want to see. Every higher life form has gone extremely low at the start of this game. The Drifter's already down. I now have to heal up the Crag inside Nanogrid. What are they going to try and do? They're going to try and retreat, go hit system waypointing from Cargo side. We've got Beagle already suiciding, taking down the mines, forcing 2 Marines to come keep an eye on that phase gate.
Looks like X is going to get taken out, possibly.
Oh!
Nano is pretty low. Wow.
I tried. Where was that lurk kill? Was that in pipe? I missed that. I think maybe.
I think it was right below Nano. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think I was mousing over at the time. I was just looking at the minimap or something. But look at that. Amy the Merc, Deathcore, Koro, and Fuzz now inside.
Crowbar taking out.
The aliens doing their best to try and get behind those Marines and take out that phase gate.
Not sure why they're sending the drifter into system waypointing. Kind of interesting there.
I don't know. Sometimes it's useful to kind of distract the Marines to sponge up a little bit of assault rifle fire if the Marines are getting the advantage. I don't know.
That makes sense. Seven's gonna finish up.
Oh,
Deathcore,
will he
looks
though?
like.
Yeah, he'll take it down with the help of the Fade. But that Willie Crowbar exposed up against the Shotgun Marine and the Assault Rifle Marine. Oh, no, he almost goes down. Look at that. Look at how low health he's on. Yeah, pointed out in chat that the aliens have to res pipe. Like C12 right now, this blueprint here denies a lot for the alien team. They can't build this resource tower until the drifter comes through and cleans it up. But look down! Oh, Deathcore there, pinching through Y junction. The lurk that was trying to run away from Amy and Koro, who was doing a little bit of fairly relaxed flying. He was dodging those shotgun shells initially from the first two Marines fairly easily, and he would get taken out by that pinching Marine that he was not expecting in Y junction.
Well, I wasn't paying attention to Nano, but it looks like Koro and Furs have kind of just taken over there. They're trying to get the phase gate up there and the two extractors. Oh. Alien's not too happy about
phase
it,
gate's up! Phase gate's up! Fade down! Fade down! Whoa, look at that! Pinched! Second fade down! Pinched outside of Nanogrid! Jesus! Those aliens have lost so many life forms in these past 3 minutes.
Deathcore, man, he's leading the scoreboard with those encounters. He kind of knows what he's doing. Taking out the fades, focusing on them, letting the skulks kind of run around meanwhile and finishing them up afterwards.
Yeah, look at that as well. We have 7 RTs lost, and for the Marines, 6 resource towers lost for the aliens. So the aliens, as chat points out, needed to res buy and have really missed their opportunity to do so. Trying to buy down topographical there with Crowbar, and another Skulk will be tough for them. But they will eventually.
Ooh, Koro taking both of them out.
Koro, look at that. Team resources right now. Marines up to 574 with the aliens trailing at 335. The aliens haven't been too low on resources. They've had cargo for a little bit. They've had control of Nano up until this point. Their main base RT bring them up to 4, so they're not too low on res, and they weren't up until this point. And have displayed that by grabbing their Bile Bomb. Biomass level 3, 3 spurs, and metabolize with what's this? Oh, look at that. A scanned gorge tunnel inside Sky. Beacon called as soon as they saw the aliens coming through that scan.
Yeah, it was interesting too because Amy and somebody else were getting a phase gate up at 78% down on cargo. So that was pretty vital. Let's see though. Because that gorge tunnel is just vulnerable sitting right there. Not sure why that was built there instead of the vent.
Man, gorge tunnels are so weak in the current build. We saw it there in the system waypoints in gorge tunnel and start how quickly it went down. But that that Skylight's gorge tunnel, with the death of the gorge, was the last ditch attempt I feel that Austrian Death Machine had against this Marine team. Even if they hadn't been able to get into the Marine base with that rush, what would they have had to come up against? They had 3 phase gates at the time, soon to be the 4th in cargo. Marines were nearby phase gates. They had mines all in their base, weapons level 2, armor level 2, shotguns against 3 spurs. I mean, there's not even any carapace on the map to on the shells.
And weapons 3 now starting. Not gonna help the aliens, especially with Deathcore kind of just dominating with the shotgun.
Another rush looks like it's going to be taking place throughout Topo this time. We'll see how it works out. They've got 4 skulks in there with a drifter into support. This is what we could have seen before. X is at the back of the room. He's got a shotgun, unable to take down Crowbar initially, but the beacon is pulled out. 2 skulks going down. One is, of course, to mines. GG has been called. The aliens out of options. Nothing left to accomplish now that the cargo chair has been claimed. tough break for them. I feel really bad. You know,
Yeah, I mean, they were down that one player for a good, I want to say, I think 5 to 10 minutes, and they just kept playing through it. But that kind of, you could see their struggle with trying to keep up their res towers, especially right outside of pipe. Up to C12, was losing that quite a bit. They just got stretched, is what it looks like.
I mean, I feel bad mainly because they were stuck on 5 players for so long. Interesting that they didn't choose to pause the game once more. They must have been.
They had 2 pauses remaining, so.
Plus, I'm sure the Marines, if asked, would have kindly also paused the game for them. I mean, this is just a friendly practice game after all.
This is true.
But let's see how the 4th game goes. It looks like